In this video, we're going to take a walkthrough on the early build, or some would say the alpha build, of the Ubuntu phone. So let's get to it. Now, I'm not going to consider this a review because this is a very early build of Ubuntu for tablets and phones. And I think it's very important that we keep that in mind. This video is just going to be a guide or a walkthrough on what you can expect in the future from Ubuntu on your cell phone or your tablet. I know a lot of people out there are very quick to judge, and if making an operating system were easy, there would be more than just a handful of them out there. So keep an open mind and give them time to develop this phone operating system. Now, as you can tell, I have the phone plugged in. I had it charged and ready to go this morning for this video, so I unplugged it, and the phone ran out of juice by the time I got around to making this video. So it's charging up now. Again, this is a very early build, so the battery optimization is something that's going to have to come at a later date. Now, you probably can tell that this is the Samsung Galaxy Nexus, the GSM version, and I did an unboxing on this, and I also showed you how to load Ubuntu on this phone. So if you want to check out those videos, click on the link at the end of this video. So the first thing we're going to do is turn this thing on. So I'm just going to hold the power button down on the right-hand side of the phone. And here we go. We have the Google splash screen and the little unlocked padlock down there showing you that the phone is unlocked. And I'm not going to edit any of this out. You're going to see in real time how long it takes to boot up the phone. So there we go. Now that's not the accurate time. I think it's Greenwich Mean Time. So this is your welcome screen, is what they call it, and it shows you that you have 14 tweets received. Now, a lot of the stuff that you're going to see on this phone is just placeholder stuff. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. This, for instance, is something that doesn't work, the 14 tweets. That's just giving you an idea of what you can expect out of this phone. This welcome screen is going to show you basically some notifications that you have. I don't know how in-depth that's going to be. All I know is that, as it shows you here, it updates you on your tweets and whatnot. So your welcome screen here includes the date, the time, and of course your notifications here, and you have your characteristic Ubuntu colors, which are orange and purple. Now up top here you have search, you also have messages, you have your volume controls, your wireless, and your battery, and then of course your time again in the upper right hand corner. We're going to get into that in a bit, but the first thing I'm going to show you is how you open up or how you start up using this phone from the welcome screen here. Now you have two options, and they all start with swiping from the left-hand side. The first option is to swipe in, and you're going to get your most used apps here. And I'm pretty sure that you can customize this however you want. So the other way to enter this is to swipe in from the left-hand side. And there you go. It opens up to your home screen. Now, a lot of what you see here are placeholders. You have your running apps here, and this is your apps selection here. Then you have your frequently used apps. Then you have your installed apps. And then you have your apps available for download. Now, I'm pretty sure that the YouTube app is a dummy app. Yeah. So that's one of the placeholders. But some of these do work, and we'll walk through all the apps that I know of that are loaded on this phone. So you have several home screens. The first is your apps. If you swipe over, the next you have videos. So you have featured videos, you have recent videos, then you have new releases, and then you have popular online videos on the bottom. And I believe all of these are dummies. Okay, so I clicked on that and it gives you a little synopsis of what's going on down here. And I don't know, let's see if I can... Okay, I can't play it, but again it's giving you an idea of what to expect. So it gives you what the video is, a rating, right now it's not rated, a little bit more about it, and that's that. Now to close out of this, I assume you hit up here and it minimizes everything. So as you can see, all of these are individual links here, but at the top you have sort of a cover flow carousel here where you can swipe through all the featured videos up here. Now you have several home screens. We started with apps, we went to videos, and if I swipe over, you'll notice that this is the end of the line here. But you might notice on the bottom, you might notice there are 5 different home screens. The one on the far right is videos. Then you have apps, and I don't know how you bring that up. Let me see. Okay. The next one is apps. The next one in the middle is your home screen, your main home screen, and we're going to cover that one next. So your main home screen here shows you frequent apps, favorite people, and again, these are all dummy contacts on the phone. I don't know any of these people, just to show you they're place fillers. Then you have people recently in touch with, again, just place fillers there. Then you have recent music, again, more place fillers. Videos popular online. So what this does is this aggregates your most used, whether it's apps, contacts, media, things of that nature. So that's your main center home screen. And you probably can tell down here, there's a little orange dash down here showing you you're in the middle home screen. Now the basic navigation of this phone comes from the sides. So you saw swiping in from the left. You can also swipe in from the right, you can swipe in from the top, and you can swipe in from the bottom. Now, when I swipe in from the bottom here, it's just going to scroll up. So I have to figure out how to get that menu down here that I was accessing earlier. But an easy way to scroll through your home screens is just to swipe from side to side. So I'm going to swipe here, and you see my people. So you have your favorite people, and that's also on that cover flow-like carousel here. And again, these are all place fillers. I don't know any of these people. You have your recently in touch people, your new contacts, and it just keeps going on and on and on. So the next home screen we're going to check out is the last one, is your music home screen. And again, much like the video home screen on the opposite end of the home screens, you have on top, you have your featured on the carousel, then you have recent as links, new releases as links, top charting as links, and that's pretty much it. Now you'll notice that you have a rubber band effect when you're scrolling. And somehow I got that bottom menu to show up, but now I don't know how to do it. Okay, maybe just swiping in from the extreme right or extreme left. So those are your basic home screens. So the next thing I want to cover is swiping from the top. So if I swipe down from the top, you'll see this really cool, interesting menu here. You have, if you notice here, you have the icons that I outlined to you earlier, and you can actually, as you hold your finger down swiping from the top, you can move from one to the next. So the first one is messages, and you can pull up all the messages just by swiping down, similar to an Android phone where you have the notification tray, but this has an interesting swipe and hold feature which isn't in Android. But you can swipe up the tray if you want. Now you can move to the next selection here by just sliding over, and then you have sound. You can mute the device or control the volume here. The next selection are your networks. Then you have battery here, and I'm 24% charged right now. I have it on auto brightness, but you can control your brightness here as well. Swipe up, and then you have your date and time all the way on the far right. So you have your clock, you have your time here, and again, none of this I can adjust, so we're on London time here. Then you have some events here, and a lot of these are placeholders. Now the last selection up here is search, so I'm just going to tap on that, and as you can see, it brings up a search box, and then you have your on-screen keyboard down here. So let me just search for TechHarvest. I do have this phone connected to my home wireless network, and I actually do have my SIM card in here as well, so it does have wireless capabilities. So let me just look up TechHarvest here, and as you can see, the on-screen keyboard in action. One thing you'll notice is that the keyboard isn't making any sounds. I don't know if that's going to change in the final build. So clicking on TechHarvest here, I'm going to hit enter, and nothing. Now while we're still on the keyboard here, I do want to cover the fact that the letters are always capital, very much like iOS. And if you're familiar with my channel at all, you know that I prefer the Android keyboard, which actually gives you a proper representation of what you're typing. So whether you have the shift selected or not, this is always going to be capitals. On an Android phone, when you have shift selected, you only see capitals. When you don't have shift selected, you see lowercase. So we've covered swiping from the left, swiping from the top. Let's check out a couple of apps, again, swiping from the left. So if you swipe in, you can jump to any of these apps on the dock here. And we're going to go through all of them. The first one up here is a media player. And it's loading up. Now, I don't know what's going on here. It's just a blank screen, but this is the app. So there is no media to play on here, but if you want to delve deeper into this app, that's where swiping up from the bottom comes into play. So you swipe up from the bottom, and you'll notice that you have some options here. The first one looks like a minimize or maximize button, depending on what state you're in. So this would be a minimize. So you click on that, and it brings me to the Facebook app. Let's go back into the media player app. There we go. Swipe up, you have a pause button, then it looks like you have a share button. So let's click on that. And again, these are all placeholders, but you can share on Facebook, Twitter, Ubuntu One, Gmail, and Pinterest. Then you have a settings button down here, which doesn't launch into anything. Now you might have noticed when I swiped in from the bottom that there was a little icon in the middle there. Let me show you that again. You see that right there? That only appears when you swipe in from the bottom and hold your finger. If you go all the way up there and let go, it will bring you into this bottom menu tray. So you see here I have two apps open, the Media app and the Facebook app. Then I have a representation for my battery, my messages, and my volume or sound on the device. And all of these, the three here, are the same menus that you would find on the top. Now you do have some contextual options down here. Play, pause, share, and then you have an X out button, a back button, probably a help button, a maximize, and then a settings button. You also can type or say a command. I'll give that one try. I really haven't had good luck with it so far, but again, this is very early software. So we're in the Media app. I put out a lot of videos. I'm just going to say TechHarvest on here and see if it picks it up. I doubt it will because I think this is just picking up media off of the phone, but we'll just see if the voice to text works on this. TechHarvest. Okay, it didn't pick it up. But you can see where this is going. Hopefully the voice to text will be good on that. So let's minimize that and actually go to the next app here, which is Ski Safari. Now this is what would give you a representation of a game. This game doesn't actually work, but it just is there to show you what to expect. And again, you can swipe in from the bottom and go to that settings. And now you see we have three apps open. So let's go to the next app here, which is Notepad. And it's a very simple Notepad app. You can add notes just by holding here and then typing in whatever you want. It's pretty basic right now. I haven't been able to save any notes, but it's giving you an idea of what to expect out of this. And again, if you swipe up from the bottom, you have that settings tray that you can go to for here, or you can add a new note right there. Let's go to the next app here. Actually, if you look here, there's a glitch there. If I bring in the menu, you still have the on-screen keyboard over it. So we got to minimize that. Bring this out here, and let's go to the music app here. So here we go. Pretty much everything in here is a placeholder. You have, I can't even move any of this, but you have a representation of how you can scroll through this. Looks like you might be able to scroll through a playlist down here, and then you have your play controls. You have a timeline here that you can scrub through, and then you have a play, fast forward, and rewind here. You have a share button there and also a minimize, maximize button there. Let's go to the next thing here, which is Gmail. Now, I did sign into my Gmail on this prior to this video, so let's see if it brings it up. Now, none of these things are real apps. They're all just through the web browser. So, I don't know. Okay, it's status bar went through on the bottom. So here's my Gmail, and this is pretty much a junk Gmail account, so there's nothing in here that's important. But up top here you have some tabs. Right now I'm on Gmail. You could go to Google+, Calendar, and Web. So again, this is a web-based Gmail app, if you will, that you could use on this phone. So let's swipe in from the side again, and let's go to Twitter. And this again is going to be the web app for Twitter. And this is my TechHarvest Twitter account here. And it's actually something you might be used to if you have an Android phone. Now this is early software, so you might have some problems using it. But again, it's to give you an idea of what you can expect from this operating system here. It's kind of slow. All right, let's go to the web browser next. So here we go, we're on the Ubuntu website. You have your basic pinch to zoom here. On the bottom, you can swipe up from the bottom, and you'll see you have your URL bar there. And then if you, again, go to that settings drawer, you have more options. You can add a new tab, go to bookmarks, back, forward, reload, things of that nature. Now here I want to try the voice to text again and see if it's going to look up something online. TechHarvest. All right, let's try something a little less specific. Summer. Okay, it's not recognizing what I'm saying, but that's all right. Again, very early build. Let's go to Facebook here, and again, another web app. And this is actually going to be my real Facebook account, if it does remember. Okay, there we go. And pretty smooth on this one. Better than the, oh, I spoke too soon. Okay, better than the Twitter app. The next selection here is Gallery. Now the camera on this does work. So this will give you an idea a little bit more of what the Ubuntu apps are probably going to function like. Now you have what they call events here. So you have it clustered by date. Some of these are stock photos, some of them are mine. Here's my cat here, just chilling out there. And as you can see, the pinch to zoom works somewhat. There you go. Trust me, he didn't die. He's alive. He's just chilling out there. Let's see. How do you get back? Okay. Hit the back button there. Now, if you notice down here, you have some contextual options again. You can select or go straight to the camera, but when I was in an actual picture, it was different. You had a back button, an edit button, add, delete, or share. Let me see how I could edit this picture even though I don't want to. Actually, let me go to a picture I don't want to mess up just in case. Let's go to my rug here. And let's edit this, and let's rotate it. Let's crop this picture. Let's see. Let's see, can I move this? No, okay. All right, you see that I did crop it there. Let's see what we can do. Auto enhance. It's working. Let's see if it changes. Okay, it darkened it up a little bit. You can do undo, redo, and revert to original. So there you go. You do have some basic photo editing options. Right now we're in events. If you want to go to the next one, which would be photos, it'll give you a grid of all of your photos. And if you want to go into one of them, select it, and there you go. Next selection is albums. I don't think I have any albums on here, so it's not going to show anything. And then you're back to events. So there's 3 options on the photo gallery, and I actually like the way it's laid out. The next option here is the camera. Now, as I told you, and as you can see, I took pictures with this camera. It does work. So let's take a picture of my fingers here. Now you can zoom in. You have this zoom bar here, and let's see if we can activate that without messing things up here. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Zooming in and out. I think you can see that there. You have option for a flash. Right now the flash is not on. You could put it on. As you can see, it took a picture with the flash. You could do auto flash, which uses it. The next thing over here is your movie camera. Now the movie camera doesn't work right now, but this shows you what it's going to look like. You have your record button here, which again doesn't work at this time. Next one is using the front-facing camera. Now you'll notice when I switch to the front-facing camera, you get this weird little kaleidoscope kind of rainbow effect on the outside of the frame there. And also, everything is upside down. So let's switch back to the rear camera. Actually, let's see if we can take a picture with the front-facing camera. Whoa, it's actually working fine now. So let's take a picture. There we go. Actually pretty nice. And it's actually full screen. Now I'm getting the kaleidoscope on the rear camera. Interesting. Let's take a picture of that and let's see if that shows up on there. And the last selection here, I believe, is your gallery. So let's see those last pictures there. Okay. I don't know if these showed up here. Okay, that might have been a flash one. Okay, when the kaleidoscope was in effect, or the rainbow effect, it looks like it did not take a picture. So that's the camera on this, and just 2 more selections here. We've got phone, and this is going to bring you into, obviously, your phone calling options here, and then your contacts and whatnot. Now, as I mentioned, I actually do have my SIM in here, so I could make a phone call. I have had the SIM in here for quite a while, actually, because I wanted to try to use this. I realized I couldn't use it as my daily driver because, as you saw, the software isn't quite ready yet. But I did want to see if I could use it a little bit, so I did carry it with my other phone, my Nexus 4. And I did have some problems with this. When I would try and make a phone call, some people couldn't hear me on the other end. When I'd try and answer a phone call, sometimes I couldn't answer the phone. And if I did, again, it was spotty if they could hear me. I could not use the speakerphone option on this phone, which is something that I use on a regular basis on my other phone. And sometimes when people would call me on this number, it would never ring. And other times, if it rang, I couldn't even answer it. So again, it's very early software and it needs some work. But I'm just going to run you through this to give you an idea of what to expect from the call app on here. This is your dialer here. Again, you can dial whatever you want. So you have a backspace down here. You have your call section is what we're in right now. And then you have a contact section down here. So if I click on that, it'll bring me to my contacts. Now these are all dummy contacts. I don't know any of these people. This just comes with the device. The next selection, if we scroll through the top here, the first one was call. The next one is conversations. So I had to put a small edit in there because this section actually shows my activity on there, but I scrolled all the way to the bottom to where you have the dummy conversations in here, just so I can talk about it a little bit. This is an area which will collect all of your conversations, whether it's SMS, whether it's Skype, whether it's a phone call, whether it's whatever it is. You'll see it here. This would be a text message, and you could click on it to go into that text messaging. So if you swipe in from the bottom, you'll see a compose option here, and you can compose a text message to one of your contacts. The next selection here is contacts. And so then we go through again. So there's 3 options here: contacts, call, and conversations, the 3 C's. So let's swipe in from the side here and go to the last option, which is going to your home screen. And we're back to the beginning. So I've showed you swiping in from the left, swiping down from the top, swiping in from the bottom. The only thing I haven't shown you is swiping in from the right. And swiping in from the right is very simple. It's scrolling through your open apps. So as you can see here, these are my open apps, my 5 open apps: the phone, the camera, the music, Ski Safari, and Notes. So if I swipe in, I'm on Contacts, swipe in again. I'm on my camera, swipe in again, Albums, Ski Safari, Notes, and back to Contacts. So that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And as always, if you want to help out my channel, give me a thumbs up or favorite this video. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.